welcome back to part 3 of session 61. We'll probably go for about another hour. The Menagerie has the Necromancer's Tower behind them, heading eastward, using Water Walk and their Bray to help them traverse more quickly. They also have a couple of their members keeping out for trolls and dangerous plants. And they're all feeling relatively hardy due to the iron gut effect of their gut pot ladle. Traveling through, they're trying to determine what day it is. I would ask, it's actually just kind of a general knowledge thing. So anyone, so you don't have to be trained in, or can all of you give me a per survival check as you guys are trying to determine during the day what day it is. I know you guys are focusing on the night, but there is actually something that might help.
17.
16.
7.
Okay. Not the. I need one for, please, if you would be so kind, Mr. Alberto.
+4, nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So
he could use his portent to make that an 8.
True. So more focusing on the travel. Davis and Al and Rock don't really pay attention too much to the surroundings. Davis, you're just more waiting for nighttime so you can look at the stars. Rock is still kind of trying to mull over the orb that you'll have took in this engine that you are carrying in amongst your group. However, it kind of strikes Marb and it strikes Calusor as they're looking up, and you can see both Loon and Luna, the two moons, fairly okay during the day, and there's only really a few times that this occurs, and you guys know that it's towards, like, you were traveling during the month of Windscar, and this happens to be the day known as Triune Day, where both moons somehow, they always appear at the same size in the same location on this. This happens 3 times a year, on the 121st day of the year, 182nd day of the year, and on the 242nd day of the year. So 1/3, 1/2, 2/3. And today happens to be the 11th of Windscar, Triune Day. As you are able to clearly see the moons with the sun out, you guys are traveling.
Ooh.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily aligned or anything, but they're just all visible at the same time?
Yeah, so they, how like sometimes
Ooh.
certain parts of the day you can see our moon and the sun is still out.
Mm-hmm.
You see Luna, which is the regular moon, the moon that seems to orbit the planet 3 times a year or so, if I recall correctly. And then you have Loon, which is known kind of like as the bad moon, and it's spelled Loon, like that orbits once a year. But for some reason, let's put away our knowledge of the cosmos in the real world. For some reason, on these 3 days, no matter where they are in their orbit, they appear bright and full and almost like next to each other in the sky. And they're days of celebration. So one is known as Trison, the other day is just known as the midday, and the last day is known, which is this one, the 11th of Windscar, is Triune Day, and they are always the same days.
Nice.
So guys just happened to kind of have a good day, which worked out where it's pretty obvious what the frickin' day it is. Oh, I do need to move the calendar over.
Yep.
choose side. I need to go to next one, choose. And that is, where are you boys? You boys are on Windscar, 11th Windscar. All right, so I will, just so you guys see, I will move the players onto the calendar page.
I was gonna say, so how many days were we in there?
In
Uh-oh.
there, so let's see.
Is it wind or wild?
Oh, the,
Oh,
it was
wow.
the
Wildscar, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. I have it mistyped on my calendar over here, but it is Wildscar. Every day of the month is, or every month in Materia is named loosely off one of the 11 of the pantheon.
Right.
So Win is this one. So it's named after the wild, the nature god. So let me choose. So as you look at the bottom calendar, you'll see that little avatar for your party is here on the 11th. As far as how many days you were in the 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was going back through my notes just trying to see, because I know we had the date written at some point.
Yeah, y'all are slogging through. The whole trip, I can probably dig up your departure day, but I don't have it readily available right now. But it's definitely been at least a month, if not a little bit more at this point. So we're gonna jumping you guys back. All right, so on the first, let's call it leg of travel, doesn't necessarily mean the first. Some of you wanted to address certain things. I know Rock has one element. I know Calusor, because of what Jesse has told me, he will be discussing with you guys and say along the lines of, it has been an adventure. I can't believe I would have ever thought of you guys as I will escort you out of the swamp to the best of my abilities, but I do have this feeling that I need to return to Mothras and let him know the happenings. If he is indeed what I think we've found out, the amalgamation of the souls of the family that was charged with watching over the shepherd's temple, perhaps this will allow him to return. Perhaps someday our paths, our threads will intertwine once again. But I'm with you till you are free from the swamp. It has been a true journey and a true pleasure. And thank you for making me feel as if I was part of something and not a lone wolf.
You always will be a part of us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just not goodbye just yet. We still probably have a few months.
Out of character, do we have oh no,
What?
What is it?
not Ragnar. Greatsword. Starts with a G.
Gustav?
Gustav?
Gustav.
Oh,
Do we still have
Gustav.
Gustav's dog tag? Thank you.
I think
believe he does.
Calusor has it?
Or did Ragnar take that?
I think Dragnar took his, and we gave, I think we gave Cal's Gustav's.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
okay. Okay, perfect.
No, didn't Cal get his own?
no,
Pretty sure
because
at one point we got another.
you may have gotten another. I don't see anything on his character sheet, right? To be quite honest. Let's check his notes real quick. Notes. Dog tag, anything? Totem. 2 broken. Oh, you guys do have 2 broken heartstones. I do remember that now.
And one functioning one?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, he does have a note about the Hydra bone dust, but no, I don't see any note about him dog tags on his person.
Not even Gustav's.
I mean, he might poorly wrought map of no, yeah. I think he would have Gustav's because so but they wouldn't have known about Calisor. So I think what it was is when you originally got Dragnar was not part of it, so he did not have any tags. So y'all gave him Gustav's.
Right.
But then y'all did the adventures or a bit of a things, and then they made a tag for Gustav for Dragnar. So y'all got
No,
Gustav
Gustav.
and gave it to Calisor. I think that's how that worked out. So yeah, he'll say, I'll give this back when we depart. That just it feels good, you know.
I was gonna tell him to keep them, because if Gustav ever comes back, we can get him his own. But this is kind of like more of your tech, because I don't think Gustav ever got his tags in the first place. That's why we ended up with them, and you've used them more, so like keep them as like a treasure of like this adventure, like it was your first time in the city. Obviously, I'm guessing we like help you with like the swamp, but like we know like it's gonna become like great again thanks to you like staying here. So don't worry about giving us back the Gustav tags. You're more of a Gustav than the Adventurers League knew, so they're definitely yours.
Okay, well, thank you, Barb and friends. Thank you. And he'll kind of clutch it. And as you guys are also kind of walking, I guess who else would like to do anything like in the first, would be like kind of the first leg of your journey heading home? So, chance to RP, ask questions.
At probably the earliest nightfall, Al would show concern about the jar of ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly with Grant and is it Bobby?
Yeah, Mobby. I'll spell it for you one more time.
It's on his token.
Oh,
But it's kind of covered up. Oh, there you go.
oh, it's right there. Thank you. I was gonna make sure that, like, okay, I didn't trap him or anything, right? I just need a container. This isn't. If I do, we let him. I don't know. I want to let him go somewhere that he'd want to be let go, but I don't
So
want to keep him here.
here's the thing. It's these are your friend Grant, was it? He's kind of right. So these were, oh boy, okay. Long story short, they're not really made anymore. These are used to.
You cut out for a lot of
Yeah, you
that.
cut out for a lot of it.
You said these were used for.
I need to restart my computer or figure out why my whatever. So he was just kind of saying like these were not used, or these were designed and created not for sinister purposes. These were created so that those who pass, you could contain their soul for a time to be able to ask it questions, have it pass on its insight or something like that if you communicate with it, or potentially aid in resurrection. Because certain magics, require certain time, and this can kind of maybe mess with that or kind of keep the soul quote unquote fresher. Again, it's an old magic that was practiced. If you really want to, you guys can, whoever wants to, you can give me a history check. It's kind of obscure. That is kind of a lost history, but y'all are more than welcome to give me a history roll. You don't have to be proficient in it, but
Grant would. Grant gets
The hell
19.
year is
Ooh, I
it?
have advantage today, so I might as well try it.
Okay, Grant.
Yeah, if this is at night, I definitely want to do it around a campfire. Get everybody involved.
Sure.
Like, what is this
Oh.
jar? Does it mean so much? Ah!
Yeah. Marb, you're not too sure. You really haven't heard about them much in your travels. They do seem to be kind of like an occult, a rare kind of oddity. Yeah, Al, you're like, must have not paid attention or must not be really. Grant, due to his, scribery time and all that, copying lectures and copying holy text in his process of recuperating and recovering and all that, he kind of does dawn on him some information that what Mobby is saying is kind of correct. These were, at best, he doesn't remember when, but a long time ago, groups that were essentially trying to figure out how to prolong life, kind of and akin to like a mortuary cult or a cult of the ever living. Those that pledge themselves to the undying, not in a dark and sinister nature, but more in a certain races live a really long time. What about that live shorter? We would like to figure out a way to do this, or to be able to pass on our knowledge and our history. And then it's been kind of applied for certain things. And this, what you saw Elseweir do, was use it in a sinister way, use it as like almost a trap, binding the souls and just leaving them to just essentially sit there for years, decades, hundreds of years without any action. So not too much history known, even with a 19 total.
That was a 19 roll. He's got a +0.
So, I guess one other person we forgot. Obviously, Rock would have rolled. So, if somebody
blame Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin +10 history.
Okie dokie.
I mean, the lowest you could roll is a 14 if you port in it. Yeah, I mean, expertise in history and intelligence-based character. It's still, even with a 28 total natural, they were made before the Black War. So before the 1,000 or so years ago that it flared up across Rune and spread to the other continents of the world. The incestuous hunger and lust for power that the Ilinvon family had. These are from before that era. In fact, they are from an era most likely, where history, those documentations of history have been lost due to age, due to weathering, due to, thievery and then misplacement. A couple thousand, maybe even some of the older ones are that. Now, being able to recreate them, sure, it's possible. Rock is certain, like, with anything with magic, you can remake it if you understand it. Like, he's proof of that in his spell book. I know how to write it down. I can manipulate and make it happen. However, in this case, he doesn't know how old this one is. He knows that it has to be at least 500 or so years, if that's how long poor Mobby's soul has been in there. But it doesn't, that's about all he gets. Again, he knows that they were originally by, organizations, cults, stuff like that wanted to prolong life or keep history flowing. But of course, like with anything, it gets bastardized by liches, by those seeking immortality, prison, keeping things prisoned, stuff like that. And I guess with that, Rock would be confident in knowing that the jar itself is not what has seemingly stripped Mobby from that cycle of returning to the maze and getting judged and all that. And he'll share that with you guys. He's like, all that information.
Could
like,
we
Mobby,
just told him how to go to the maze, in the tower? We went there.
How did you get in, though?
There's some big gold
Which time?
like thing with rings around it, and then we put some light through it, and this door thing.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
can't really.
Al looked at his bracelet. Can't even pronounce that thing.
Oh yeah. Let me remember if I can say it.
Equilibrium.
Oh,
Yeah.
armillary? Is that what you're trying to?
Well, it's equilibrium and armillary smashed together.
Oh gosh.
Equilibrium Millery.
Equilibrium. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one. So, yeah, Al, you look kind of down at it. Kind of.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. Mobby would be like, because you've noticed that, he's not actually floating. He's like, I really can't interact with anything. If I had to make a light or do, you guys would have had to help me. It's fine. I'm just glad she's dead.
Yep.
They're dead. I'm not in that jar, even though, it looks like your friend is pretty happy in the jar. It's not a prison for him. It's like I don't know what I would relate it to. It's just like an extension of his existence.
That's what
Penny.
I'm so. That's what I'm so curious about. It does seem it's beautiful. It does seem like he would be happy, but I feel like out of anybody, the whole idea of the Shepherd of Fate is that I don't know. He should go to the maze. He should go beyond this jar.
Uh,
I really I wanted to release his ashes somewhere, but I do not want to damn him to a jar.
Grant will pipe up and say, "Al, we got time. If he's in there and we have time, we'll figure out a way to let him pass and be okay. Let's focus on getting out of here." And you hear like the fire cracking.
Okay.
But
You're right. At least he's definitely not suffering. This is
no, he's good, I think.
okay.
And not created for evil. I think some of us saw that chain, and he kind of points at it went on there by itself. So maybe there was a reason, right?
Yeah.
The symbol of the one that he follows. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That helps a lot. I think I do need to worry about this less.
So, anyone else wanting to do anything for like the first evening before percentile? And as night does come, it is obvious as the sun fades and Loon and Luna, dominating the night sky. Like when you have like one of those super close moons and it's full, you have two of those. It's actually quite a bright evening.
Cool.
But Loon is still smaller and looking like it's more than Luna. However, it is greatly amplified. So, anyone got anything? If otherwise, we can just traveling east. Y'all are able to rest. Don't worry about rolling portents and all that stuff for now. Calusor will continue walking with you. As about the third day of travel, you'll see that through like midday, Mobby, guys, it's getting a little harder to stay completely here. I haven't even seen through myself.
Is that good or bad? Like, are you going?
Oh
Are you
no!
becoming more ghostly or less ghostly?
Well, I still don't have feet, so I think I'm still a ghost. I can see through my own hand. Whoa.
You can always see through your hand, couldn't you?
I mean, kind of, but I guess it kind of just blocked it out, but now I can't, now I definitely
So
see.
more ghostly.
I mean,
Yeah.
Got it.
we're gonna keep going, but you don't have to come.
Good.
Cal's still with us, right? So can we see if Hans is acting strange or anything?
Go ahead and Marv, give me, and I guess also Calsor. So, give me insight checks on Hans.
Inside, okay. Perfect. Oof. You hate to see it.
He's a hand.
Yeah, he's a hand. It's kind of hard. The undead hand that's been turned into a familiar. If you want to roll one for Calsor, that would be good.
Excuse me. How much is for Cal?
For James.
D20 plus 8. I don't know if James is here or not.
Yeah, I'm there.
He's rolling like crazy in D&D Beyond.
20 unnatural 20 for Calsor.
Okay, that's fine. I'll allow that.
Dirty 20.
You get the sense, Calsor will get the sense as he's like Hans off the lead, essentially the collar the entire time for the last 3 days. Hans is kind of staying close to Mommy, and Hans recognizes that Mommy is him and Mommy is him. I think they're the same entity. And when Mobby starts to hesitate and has trouble, keeping up and starting to fade more away, kind of stays more close to Mobby and wants to kind of assist him. As Mobby is starting to kind of fade more and more as you guys are trekking, and Mobby is like, I kind of keep this up. After all, I'm part of the menagerie. I got this.
Honorary.
I'm free. That evening, as you guys are traveling, Mobby is still with you. However, he is, if we're gonna say maybe 10% of actual visual is there. He's like, boys, it's been a pleasure. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last. I may go into nothingness. That is better than the trap jar. Hans has not left his side, and Calasor has kind of picked up on the day, all evening as well. And as you guys are kind of having your meal, gather around the fire.
During the meal, can I cast detect magic to see how strong he is compared to the environment, and also if the environment is duller than it used to be?
Sure. Go ahead and cast me that detect magic. Mark off your spell slot. You are still in Deep Root. It is still magical as it gets. However, you've prepared yourself and you've gotten used to it. Yeah, I didn't want to actually just say that. Hans is still very much, of conjuration and necromantic energies. Mobby is very much of divine and necromantic energies. Something you weren't expecting to see is that orb that y'all are carrying. That is a bright spot. In fact, it is it kind of does show amongst all the brightness of Deep Roots. And something you're seeing now is those threads of magic are still being kind of siphoned into the orb. You kind of see the spectral sea of all the auras of magic swirling around it and kind of coming into it, kind of seeing that this is the source. The Bray that you guys were riding today is giving them a little bit of a later start. You would see, they are still magical. However, something that does strike you is perhaps it's just the sheer amount of magic or Deep Root playing with your detect magic a little. you do see a thread, a tether essentially connecting Mobby to Hans.
Duh, duh, duh.
Oh.
Mm.
I would let everybody know about the tether. Um, so, but seeing the tether, I thought that staying close to Hans would be keeping him bright, But is Mobby also linked to the, or you know, initially got placed in the jar where he passed, perhaps? I don't know how any of this stuff works.
Hey, Mobby, do you know a way? Like, can we fuse you on Hans? Like, so I don't know, like in a way, like keep you here but make Hans more intelligent, kind of thing. Like,
Mark, I was just thinking the same thing. What if we use the orb?
I mean, I guess it's better than fading away. If I could be a part of me again, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you just see Hans give you the wah, 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 wah. No, I'm kidding.
What? Okay. Well, what if Hans holds the orb and Dobby touches it to see if they can?
Dobby.
Not Dobby.
Mob.
Dobby.
Just give him a sock. He'll become materialized.
He'll be fine.
Give him a sock.
That's what I keep
Completely.
thinking of the entire
I
time
know.
Oh,
we've been talking.
Master has
I mean-
given Mobby clothes.
It's literally what it's like. Is he just a ripoff of Dobby? I'm like, I didn't even think about it when I wrote the name. Jeez, a maw like a dragon's maw, and just made it kind of cute with the B at the end.
The subconscious betrays us yet again.
Yeah. Rock will say, well, Rock will be, well, at least lets us prove that this thing isn't evil, right? Hans is technically already dead, so we don't have to worry about the undeading again, right? So we all are in it, I guess. Sure. Kind of curious. Yes.
I'll look at Hans and go, well, are you willing?
Hans will thumbs up, like, ding.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Right. So the plan is, if I understood, roll the orb out, let Hans touch it, and then let Bobby touch it.
Yeah, because I don't think Mobby can interact with anything, can he?
Not that you're aware of, right? Yeah.
Going by my knowledge, I don't think he can hold it.
So you put it on the ground, and Cons will kind of climb on it. Because actually, it's been 3 days. As Rock reveals the orb, it has shrunken a bit. It's not quite volleyball size anymore. It's about handball size now.
Is it still doing all the normal mannerisms with the colors and the shining?
Much more slowly. And the stab seemingly has been mended.
What I'll tell Mobby to do is whenever Hans' hand is on there, I want you to kind of use your same hand that was that hand and kind of push it through Hans's hand on the orb.
Okay, I can do that. Let's see. That is a left hand. Okay. And he kind of pulls it out. Like, all right. I don't have my left hand. That makes sense. Bitch, cut it off. I remember. Fucking punishments. God damn it. Okay. So Rock will roll it out. As Hans kind of approaches the orb, kind of twists a little bit in the ground and then starts to kind of levitate just a bit. And it's maybe half a foot. Hans will scuttle up towards it kind of leap up and kind of clasp it as you guys all kind of watch, maybe holding your breath just a little bit. Nothing.
Hold on, I stand behind a tree.
Okay. Also kind of goes around. As like the crackling fire. Al, I guess you check magic. Having your discussions. The brays have faded. Yeah. So the crackling, and then Mommy goes, all right, well, thank you, and hopefully this isn't goodbye. Yeah, okay, I'm a part of the part. And he kind of puts his spectral, left hand nub where Hans would be, and Hans is, surprisingly, it seems to kind of match size. And he kind of puts it, and he's like, I don't feel anything.
Let it cycle through the colors.
Okay, this is kind of slow. Boo. Huh.
Purple will get there eventually.
But I don't want purple, do I? I don't want to be a dad. Yeah,
Oh, wait. I don't know anymore.
yeah.
The right color.
I think the colors represent the schools of magic, so hopefully we get the restoration spell type things here soon enough.
Cool. Well, he just starts going off on like a model. Thank you. You guys are great. I feel like I got to know you guys, even though I felt like I knew you guys before. It's really weird seeing I've never met you guys. But oh! And you just see like pulses. Another color. It actually goes white. A color that you haven't seen in the spectrum. It clicks over and white, and as it does go white, Mobby just basically gets into Hans, and Hans just kind of like starts shaking, and you see like some smoke, and Hans starts to like sizzle, and that is kind of like a bug that hits a bug zapper, flies off, the orb falls down, and Hans is like on the ground, twitching, smoking, got blasted about 15 feet.
Did that
but however,
break Hans?
did not. Well, Counselor, you would pick. Bam him back to your neck.
I'm sorry, you cut out. I don't think I heard his talisman.
You would pick up that. Yeah, Counselor would pick up that. Well, it didn't bamf. Whatever happened didn't cause.
Normally when it dies, it goes back.
And then bamf, for him to regenerate on your collar. So he's still there on the ground. He's just kind of. Like his fingers are just kind of twitching on the ground. Mobby's nowhere to be seen, and Hans is on the ground.
Hans/Mobby, is that you?
Do a thumbs up if it's you.
I'm gonna cast a healing word on the hand.
Okay. You can see as you. Gotcha. Level 1. So mark it off. As you do, you kind of see the trying to twitch and trying to make a thumbs up, but the other. It's just like a hand flipping, like the thumb is up, but the fingers are still straight. It's like, and it's kind of shaking. He's like, that, and I guess, wow, you guys actually figured out the puzzle. Good job, boys. So yeah, you have now essentially, as James, you are currently. I will send you.
Did we exalt the crawling claw?
So you now have an apiothic dismembered greed, as it has. Let's get the link.
Like
I
a
will.
monkey paw or?
No, so Apiothos is like rapid ascension kind of thing, like where you kind of go through a divine process or divine healing. I think that's the actual definition. I can post the word.
Apotheosis? Yeah.
Apotheosis, right? There you go, James. I sent it to you on the Discord. Essentially, it is a upgraded version of Huns. I don't actually remember all the differences, but the user now at will can do that one spell that's on there.
That's
And I think if it didn't already, it now counts as those set of tools. and pretty much everything else should be roughly the same. I think, oh, maybe his intelligence got bumped as well.
Sure.
Oh, and I should have put understands Draconic and Common. I will change that, obviously.
All right.
So yeah, you now have Mavi's soul fused back with his body, or whatever remained. So yeah, he'll kind of be twitching and kind of make a thumbs up. However, some of the fingers are bent and straight, kind of weird, and then flops on it. And it's still kind of smoking, and he's like, just starts slowly scuttling towards the group, towards Calisor, kind of like as if you can imagine, like if he was gonna jumps on his leg and just starts crawling up slowly, sits on his shoulder and just kind of plops. That's exhausting.
Okay. So, thumbs up. Do I call you Hans?
Thumbs
I'll
up.
give him a new.
Do I call you Mobby?
Super Han.
About
Thumbs up.
Combi.
He gives like a less enthusiastic thumbs up.
Okay, got it. So you'll answer the both, but you like Hans better.
Yeah, gives you a thumbs up as best as it can because it is exhausting.
Do you want to go back in a necklace so you can rest?
It basically gives a thumbs up again.
Oh,
I'll let him go to the necklace so he can rest.
So yeah, up to you, Gal. James, whenever you're comfortable, if you want to share that or that secret for the time being. That is what has happened. I do want to pull up the other one later and just kind of remember what I changed. But the one thing, the at will for sure, is something different. I know that.
There you go.
Good wins. All right, he busted it. There we go. So yeah, Mobby's soul is now permanently fused with Hans. Goodbye, Mobby. All right, boys. Let's do. Do you guys have any? Do percentile dice now to see how well you travel and everything.
okay.
Percent it up.
Percentiles. All right. I will need all of you. Let's do them one at a time and so we'll go start with James because you're top in Discord. Roll me a D100. All right, 10. Nice. All right. Let's see. So
Hans now has 10 fingers.
while you guys had some of your discussions and talks and all that, the next you realize it's still going to take you some time to get out of here. You are traveling east. You are following as best as you can what waterways do present themselves. Life in this section start to become more green and more lush. There is a few occasional encounters with some of the native, life, as well as the opportunity to kill and hunt and get some food. Calisor would turn, into his little clawfoots and go hunt. And at one point, you do get some sort of herbivore like dinosaur, kind of akin to like an armadillo, that you are able to bring down and ration for food, and use the ladle to bolster the meal even more. Using some of the nice days to sun dry it, as it seems like the weather has been very favorable for a good portion of your journey. With more and more time, Hans has become, back to his normal self, though, has benefited from the boons. Rock has had a chance to get more and more familiar with the orb, and over the last, let's say 5 days or so, it has now basically shrunken to the size of like a little, like a, what do you call them? A cutie, like one of those little oranges, right?
It's like
That
a
you would
billiard
give
ball.
like yeah, like a billiard ball size. Still undulating through the lights. The membrane of like the glassite membrane is broken in that. It still looks nice. And Marb, you've kept that dagger, I assume, this entire time wrapped up.
Still wrapped up. Yep.
Okay. All right. So that'll be about another 5 days of your journey. All right. Davis. Go ahead and roll me a 49. Some of the weather has kind of changed in some of the days, been beset by some of the rainfall, but it is convenient now knowing that you can roll magic items to recharge and One day y'all did get beset by a pack of trolls. Definitely not your friends. You were able to.
Yeah, they didn't respond when I said friend. It was weird.
Yeah. You were
Gosh,
indeed
dang it.
able to dispatch of the trolls in a way where you brought them down, however, you let them be, and just continued your journey, and they stopped stalking you guys. At this point, it would be about another 6 days of your journey. So we're on like 11 days since you've left, or actually technically 12 since you left the tower. Nico, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Al had posted something, by
got
the way.
it?
Yeah, he said,
Oh, I have a short RP.
90.
Okay. All right. So before we do the 92, Al. So as you guys are kind of camping one of those evenings, and shrinking and shrinking, and Rock is getting more studied with it. What would you like to talk to him, or what would you like to do?
I'd mostly discuss with Rock, like, do we even know the origin of this thing? Like, I've never seen some kind of source of magic just shrink like that, but I guess I haven't come across many. Were you able to
Alright.
figure anything out about it?
I mean, this disappears, man, and I'll do the glaive. It's like, magic does things. It's weird.
So,
Mm.
I don't know. This is really interesting. I get the sense that I think one of us could probably harness its power at this point. I think it's safe. I have the feeling that it might let us kind of maybe bend some of our magic beyond what it's meant to do. It's kind of cool.
Harness? Do you mean like use or like absorb?
I think we could actually use this as a tool, kind of like like an instrument of magic. I really think we could use this.
I thought the rate it was shrinking though. Do you think it's gonna disappear in a few days?
I think it was bloated. The best way I can say.
Oh,
I think it wasn't meant to do what they did to it, and it sort of responded.
Hmm.
Like I really get the sense that this is more of a tool or an implement, kind of like Marb uses his bow, right? You use your rapier. Davis uses. Kind of think maybe this is maybe something like that. It just happened to be, well,
Specifically for magic.
I think
Magic amplifier.
we've seen what it did with magic.
Mm-hmm.
okay. It
So,
was misused, maybe abused, but it's just a tool at the end of the day, right?
yeah, I think it's a very powerful tool that was able to somehow cope with the misuse. And now it might be kind of. I don't think this thing is sentient. It kind of looks at it. Hello?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be responding.
No response. I just think somehow it's able to kind of adapt, kind of like it's able to adapt magic around it. It adapted its form to make. I mean, we kind of got the sense of just how much magic was being siphoned or funneled through this thing, and now it looks like maybe it's not as intense. So it's going back to its original nature. We've seen magic items, reshaped for people's sizes. Maybe it's doing the same thing.
Maybe it can be like good in adapting, and we can try to like purify it later.
Maybe it still needs to be purified.
That
Maybe.
way we can use it like for the full magic enhancement.
Yeah. I think we got very lucky, and maybe we don't necessarily want people to know exactly what this is.
So, Rock, why was there a dagger in it? And like, did
That's what I
that
really want to know.
break it? Like, those blue crystal things make me think that that's like bad because we saw that in the mill, right? That was like corrupting or something.
Marb, would you be so kind as to pull out the dagger that you've had cloaked the entire time, please?
What are you gonna do
sure.
with the rock?
I'm just gonna show you just visuals, no touchy. I will touch the orb, and you see that now he's actually been like touching it from time to time. He's like actually held it.
I like put it on the floor carefully and like untie like all the knots and then like, and I look at Rock and it's like, no touchy.
Yeah, so like with the leather is moved, sheathed currently, and Rock says,
You cut out after it does the leather or the leather.
"Oh yeah,
piece.
so you okay? Sorry. So yeah, you kind of pull away the leather cloth that you have it tied in that, and then you still have the sheath on it." And Rock's like, "Okay, you said I can't touch it. Can you at least remove the sheath so we can see the blade?"
Okay. I like literally grab it with like 2 fingers on one end and 2 fingers on the other and like whoosh, unsheath it
Yeah, perfect. So
as carefully as I can.
So those crystals kind of match the color of the blade. If you look at the decaling and carve work of the blade, it kind of resembles some of the, well, like the fey and twisting of magic that maybe the hags are known to do. They did have a lot of, skulls and bones and leathers and stuff in the hut, right? So looking at that, I think maybe the hags that use that secret tunnel that we use in the same place figured out a way to use the dagger as like a median. So they were intercepting the energy, and it was taking the energy, maybe taking it to the mills, and that was letting them stand. I think we messed with the hags as well here.
Good.
So the dagger energy was being fed into the orb.
Reverse.
Yeah.
The orb that was sucking in the energy, necrotic, the dagger was siphoning a portion of that before it went necrotic and was sending the raw energy to the mills. And the crystals are, I bet you if we break this blade, it'll grow back. I bet you that. I think it somehow that's the connection that the hags had. They have this implement, and maybe I don't know anything else. Sharp dagger. I don't sense anything else, but I think that's what they did. They used it as their connection to the orb. Poor orb. And he kind of strokes it.
So we better just keep these apart then.
Well, we definitely don't want to stab it with it. And I don't know what that does. I really, it just looks like they just happen to have a dagger and they figured to use it.
Okay, and I start putting back the sheath on. It's like, you know who's really good at identifying all these spooky magic shit?
Wigs?
My man Wiggs.
Hell yeah.
And you know where he is right now? Back in town.
In his little aquarium office.
Okay.
Or terrarium, I guess, really more.
Yeah.
Actually, before I like put it on the sheath, I do want to test Rock's fairness. I pick it up and go like, Rock, I'm crushing you, and I like slam it on the ground and try to break it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a check.
A what?
Strength check. If you have athletics, I'll let you use it. If you're proficient.
I do have athletics, but it's kind of the same. So.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead real quick because.
You cut out again, Adam.
You cut out again.
Yeah.
Roll a d6 just to see if your totem would have been bear for the day, because this will give you advantage. What'd you roll?
We roll
No, 2 is not bear. No, you're good. All right, give me a straight roll, because 2
Wait,
is...
2 is bull strength,
Yeah.
so I would
Oh,
have.
so it is strength. Yeah, you would. Sweet. Yeah, cool. So you do have...
Lucky. Okay, so here's the second one.
Hey.
Hey, 19.
Yeah. That's easy enough. You manage, you find like one... You hold it, smash it, the blade breaks. The end of it breaks into many shards. 1/3 of it still there. And you can tell just by looking at it real quick, whatever edge is still there is wicked sharp. It's like,
But it's not regrowing. Cool. And I like quickly put it back on the sheath. And it's
yeah, it's not like instantly regrowing. It's like Rockwood says, I bet if we look at that in like a day or two, you're gonna have that blade is gonna be a little bit bigger or something.
Okay. That proved that it can be destroyed. And if it's evil and spooky, we can find a way to at least destroy it. Good. Sweet. Whew, and I nervously like cover it again and start like wrapping everything up.
Perfect. All right. Anybody else got anything that they want? Set of evenings.
I would just let Rock know that I trust him that we can let Wiggs examine it further. I think I want to start helping examine it every night. And Al's kind of intrigued by it at this point.
Okay. Al, go ahead and give me a Arcana check, and we'll go ahead and move forward. And details based on what you find. Yeah, it's gonna take you. I mean.
Oh yeah, I got all his back.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
basically
Oh,
3 of them. Okay.
There's one.
Okay.
Do that. Yeah.
I could just,
Yeah, so
Thank you.
it's still
So
like
being exhausted.
it's still kind of hard to grasp everything as explaining it to you, but you do get the sense that yeah, it does look like the initial purpose of this thing, if Rock is correct, was just to be able to bend magic. The best example that Rock can tell you is like, you know how when you sometimes want to, I don't know, like, you know, when you say those words and you seemingly like give us that a little bit more oomph to fight, like you kind of help us deal with some of our wounds, but sometimes your words don't reach far enough. It looks like potentially one of these things might let you have a further grasp and reach of that magic, from what I can get. I don't know how well we can control that, but it looks like it's maybe one thing that this thing can do. And maybe that's part of that bastardization that they did, and its adaptation was it was just emanating this giant wave of energy, keeping all those undead active.
Oh. Okay, Rock. So it's not necessarily making magic stronger, but it gets it further.
I think that's one of the options.
Like you said, broadcast a few days ago. Kind of. Okay, the tower. Okay. I think I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. All right.
This is interesting. I'm gonna keep on it with you.
Okay. All right. Okay, with Marb's 92, straight shot. In fact, you guys are like rushing through the next couple of days. Make up like 2 or 3 days. So you guys travel on the like what would be normally 5 days in like 3 days.
Nice.
Very quick. All right, Corbin, Mr. Roll a d100.
I'll say if and when we get close to town, if we get near those black purse motherfuckers, I'm checking on them.
Fair.
Above average?
Okay, 52. So Al, there is a bit of a scuffle on, you know, the last few days of your journey. Honestly, just more of like eagerness to leave the swamp has kind of led to some sloppiness in your travels. There is an incident where you get in the a more proper, and it looks fairly clean to just kind of refresh yourselves and gather some. Still creating the water, but it's just nice to maybe get a little soak. And some of you are attacked by little biting fish and everything, and it's just an unpleasant afternoon. But nothing too dangerous, nothing too crazy. Y'all have become fairly skilled at this point through trial and error and Calisor's guidance and Marb's understanding to get this far. On one of the days, as you guys are traveling, there is a stronger breeze than normal heading. As you guys are heading east, it's blowing from the east to the west. And as it's blowing, you pick up on like the faint smells of, well, like burning woods and something. Like there seems to be maybe like a fire off in the distance being carried. However, y'all are able to continue venturing.
A menagerie. Do we need to hurry? How small that?
Yeah.
I mean, we want to know if the town's like alive.
I mean, there's fires in the forest. They happen.
True. Just keep in mind. I don't know how long we're gonna be smelling this. I guess if it's a forest fire, it could be forever. Damn it.
No, forest fires don't last forever, Al.
Eventually they'll burn out. the
And
whole
we're
place.
walking, so.
Well, the duration for us to get to town at least. I don't
And
know.
the Calisor will kind of speak up. We're in a swamp, not a forest.
Well, there's trees. I mean,
True, fair. But come on, it's like when someone calls you. Someone says, "Hey, you're an elf, and you're really a half elf or something." I think that's kind of what I picked up in town,
Damn.
right?
I'm sorry I was forest racist against your home.
This is just
Yeah,
really...
How dare you?
Oh, let me put it this way. It'd be kind of, there we go, because you're from the sea. It'd be someone called a sea the ocean. You know that's different. There we go.
Yeah, you forest racist.
I call the ocean
Can't
the sea
believe
all the
that.
time.
And he
Oh,
goes,
you're an oceanist? Oh my god. Can't believe
bad
it.
example. Bad
Davis,
example. Sorry.
Davis, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
It's water. It's a big thing of water. Who cares? It's not like it's a pond or anything. It's just open water.
Alright.
Oh my god.
I didn't let out.
I apologize, goddess of the ocean waters. Don't listen to him.
Lady
Don't strike
Water.
us down with your wrath. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He knows not what powers he tempts. DM
Poseidon is
furiously
cool, I
making
swear.
notes about
Just
Davis's
let
fate
him leave.
for being ocean racist.
Oh no.
That's what happens when you're a racist. A forest racist.
Biome racist.
I would say though. My homies? That's terrible. Al would say though. So is this just a really bad way to say that we're getting close to the dry ground? Dry forests?
Well,
I don't know.
Calisor will say, it's hard to judge how much the wind is strong. It could be carrying for a long distance, or it could be just someone's camping. If someone's camping, we maybe, and you see him all of a sudden get kind of somber. Maybe you are almost back to civilization, and you can.
If it's those black purse motherfuckers, they better not be doing this shit again, the same shit they did before. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
No.
So it would be nice to see a familiar face. Yes.
Eh,
I mean, not
not
the lava.
those.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't that hard last time, so I guess
Mm.
it technically would be nice, but
Well, so we will. I guess we'll continue. Let's keep an eye out. I feel we're getting close, and short of anything, you guys will continue like in a day.
cut out for me real quick.
Oh, you guys will continue moving in like a day, break through the shrubbery and the vegetation, and at one point the water will kind of dry up, and you will find a semblance of a dirt trail leading, well, east to west, more or less, and you are able to follow it and make, good pace now. That the wind has subsided over the course of the previous day, and it is becoming late, and you guys, naturally would bed down for the evening, setting up camp under the night sky. You had probably been traversing inside the swamp 12, 15, 21 days or so. At a
That's
whole.
total, including before and after the tower.
That is, from tower to here.
Oh wow.
is
Okay.
21 days.
I didn't think it took that
Whoa.
long. Damn.
Okay, I was probably a little numb after that.
It was because, keep in mind, much further down, right?
You
And
cut
now
out
that
a lot.
Oh shit. So originally, and I hope I can draw my hand, you were at the Hag's Hut, which was like a week or so, like 6 days south of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all had to make up that difference, right? So y'all kind of walked this way. And the journey was, Marb helped with some of it, and then, just in general, the average travel was fairly okay, with some, more leisurely days and all that. So yeah, it was about 20 days actually.
And we killed it on the first way when we fucking
Y'all
hooked it
did
super fast on the first time.
You did, you really, really did. But in this case, much further journey, plus still maybe not traveling as aggressively and trying to understand the orb and figuring out things. And there's the mobby and all. So yeah, it'd be about 20 days.
Damn.
Since the 11th of, well, no, because 11th wouldn't be, that was the day. So yeah, it was since the 11th of Wildscar, it was 19 days, so 20 days total. Yeah. So I will actually update that calendar. But yeah, you guys are able to make camp set up. Now that you are probably closer to civilization, or you see somewhat of a road. I don't know if y'all are still doing watches or what the plan would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah, 30th of Windscars today. So as you guys do set up for camp, who would be, what would be your watch order, do you think? And we'll call it quits here pretty soon.
I'll go first.
I can take the first.
Okay.
I would try to sync my watch order with Rock so we could look at the core. What's it?
Okay.
Actually, I'll take the last one so I can make breakfast with the ladle.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Cal,
That'd be
make
with
the first
Grant
one with
too
Hollins.
for the crackers.
So Cal
What?
on.
If Grant takes the last watch, he can make crackers for the soup.
Okay.
I can make some rations out of the pouch as well. So
Oh,
we'll
that's
have to
even
walk
better.
the rest of the.
Okay, Grant can keep sleeping. I vote rations. Mystery rations.
Although, do we have enough for all the braised then?
Ah, shit.
I mean, you can have 3 people awake if you want.
No,
You
we're just
can
talking
have-
about charges on the pouch.
Oh yeah, then you
Yeah,
want.
we would have to walk.
They're herbivores, right? They can just eat crackers.
Yes, but you won't be able to summon all 5.
Oh, right. Ration or braise. Shit.
Crackers.
Yeah.
Mr. Crab.
Adam, how would it work with Goodberry and the ladle?
Good point.
Because one berry gives you all the sustenance you need for one day.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
medium creature, yeah.
Please, any change of pace. Thank you.
For medium, I would say that, since in materia it does consume the branch, it would probably just consider it a rat. So you need 2 to 3 rations. I would say they don't count as more rations. They're just a little bit more substantial. So 1 berry is still the equivalent of a ration, honestly. it's kind of like where magic interacts with magic. Doesn't actually carry over completely, but it definitely is a ration, right? If you do a berry, it's a ration. So
6-berry
definitely-
soup is what I like to call it.
Cracker berry soup it is. Yeah.
There we go. Cracker barrel berry. So
It's hard to say.
Crackleberry berry soup.
Ooh.
Grant and Al. So who am I missing? Cal. Oh yeah,
But wait, Al and Rock. But
yeah. Oh no. So it'll be Cal Davis with Hans. Al Rock. And then Grant Mark. Okay, cool. All right, so on the first watch, Davis, it's kind of nice, being back, knowing that you've out of the swamp essentially, right? You're like, you can pick up that Calisaur is a little bit sad.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. Not having you anymore. It sucks.
Yeah, it's been an interesting few months.
Yeah,
you guys.
we're going back into town, and I know that's not your favorite place, so
No.
I get it. And it's, you got your people you want to see, so it's cool.
No, I gotta see, and maybe.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could get a hold of you somehow. That'd be great.
idea. We could always give him one of the bird papers.
Yeah. Last one. We only have one left.
That's fair.
yes,
That's a
please.
good point. Yeah. Let's give it to him.
So yeah.
Yeah, we'll give him one in the morning or whatever. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah. If I need to get a hold of you, I'll.
Yeah, great.
Perfect. Davis, as you're the closest with Al, listen, you guys are letting me keep
We're letting you keep what? Sorry, you got it.
the dog, the Gustav tag.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think Hans needs to be more of your adventure. After all, I only
You
got
should.
him. Yeah.
I mean, he's very handy, and
No
you're
pun
close.
intended.
Hey,
Good pun.
And a pun
honestly,
definitely
literally no pun intended.
Hey.
No, I think he wouldn't be the Hans we have without everyone. Would you be so kind when I offer it to your friend Al? Would you make sure he takes it? I think
Sure.
I think it'll help his skill set the most.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I got too much stuff I've got going on anyway, so I'll forgive that you didn't offer it to me first, but I'll make sure he takes it. I'm sure he was your second choice, and you just knew that I couldn't take it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're pretty smart. So.
Thank you. So yeah, it's been
I hate you.
a trip. And with that, like, unless
You are
there's
definitely not the first choice.
I know that.
oh jeez, don't search me.
Not bad mouth in my trees.
All right.
Attack
with that,
Rob. Roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
just draw. It's supposed to be mine. Loot you. God. No. Davis, unless if there's anything you want, shift will come to an end, or then you'll wake up Allegretto and Rock so they can continue their research and study on the orb.
Yep.
Okay. Al, Rock, the evening y'all are able to make headway and progress. Go ahead and give me Kana check, Al, and then someone go ahead and roll a check for nice, dirty 20. So d20 plus 10 for Rock, whoever wants to. It could be Al again, since
I'll do it, I guess.
Yeah, you've been
Plus
rolling
10.
for him.
yeah, so 20.
Oh, Rock, 1 second. There we go.
Okay, Al actually doing better than Rock.
Possible.
Yeah, working together. Al, telling you, and you're kind of going more on, your your feel for magic, and you're picking up on rhythms and picking up on that. When you guys are discussing, you have heard tales and kind of confirmed it amongst yourselves of those that have magic innately in them being able to bend magic, and the term meta magic comes to mind. And you kind of ascertain that now that this engine has reverted back, fuck you. That's funny. Has reverted down to being, a small orb. It looks like it is an implement that is used to bolster magic and allow you to essentially pull the threads of meta magic to be able to manipulate a spell, and things like increasing the duration, increasing the range of a spell, maybe warping like a fireball into a snowball or something like that. Perhaps letting you bend the rate that magic is casted at. It does seem that this is an item that can be attuned to. Is that all you guys pick up, though?
Things getting more and more interesting.
Mhm.
And is it the same size as it was a couple days ago, or at least yesterday?
Yeah, it's basically like it stopped at about the size of like a cube, right? Like a billiard ball.
Okay.
I will send you a link. Where are you? All right. But as you guys are like enthralled, pinging back and forth to one another, go ahead and give me perception checks at disadvantage, since y'all are focusing on the orb and the fascinating things that y'all are discovering.
Beautiful.
Yes. So, and then we'll be wrapping up here pretty soon, boys.
Disadvantage, right?
Yes, at disadvantage. I should have a
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Rock,
Yeah.
perception.
rock. Yeah. Oh wow!
Amazing.
You guys. Oh, I love it when dice work out. This makes me so
Oh, I'm
happy.
so beautiful.
Yeah. So as you guys are kind of intrigued and talking about like what you guys might be able to do and like who could use this implementations, and maybe this will help you in your adventures and maybe help you unlock secrets, and you guys are just kind of like, oh dude, that is so awesome, dude, what about this?
Oh, it's a new age of Arcana.
Yeah, that kind of starts to like just manifest naturally, man. And as you guys are kind of there is just a plume of smoke starting to just kind of envelop and consume you guys, and you're like, dude, did I do that? Did we do that with the orb? Man, that was, I don't know how to make it stop, man. And it's just this,
Dude, we're
just
so cool.
yeah, it's just this thickening dark cloud of smoke just starting to just emanate and out, and it becomes to the point like you guys are not coughing or choking. It's just you just can't see. You guys are like, whoa, we're enveloped. How do we get it to stop, man? It's the orb. It's the orb. And then at one point during this, you guys are kind of discussing, and like Rock will be like, "Al, is that you? Al, did you just bump into me? Al, what was that? Al?" And Mr. James, what would you like to do?
A very shiny dagger will come around Rock's neck.
He's like, Al, how?
And then a note will appear. I'm fucking out. Go fuck yourself, Rock.
And a very familiar voice resonates through Al and Rock. You hear your dwarven friend. Why can't I give you control? What's your name in here now? It's still Yarcy, okay. That's why. Why can't I find you?
They just summoned like Dragnar.
I'm sleeping through this shit. God damn it.
Yeah.
I picked the worst turn. Definitely the worst turn.
All right. Let's
So,
save
you think this orb can teleport people? Are you hearing this shit? Rocky, hearing that?
All right. So if you guys would be so
Didn't
awesome.
we tell you, Rock, to stop touching shit? Al,
That's
you're
powerful.
enabling him.
And
It's
that
like he's really here.
so Al, you see as the smoke kind of parts and clears.
Well,
I
they'll
will-
help Hopper go back on the bottle.
Yeah. You go, and then after a few moments, the smoke will fade relatively rapidly. And Dregnar, your friend, though somewhat difficult to recognize, I posted his new art in the
Hold on,
channel.
hold on.
Okay.
What's Al's dad doing here?
That's fair.
I heard the voice, but dude, you're like ancient.
Dragnar, you look okay. That's a new outfit. The dagger's still at my throat. You still haven't moved the dagger from my throat.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's Al. We saw, as you would say, we saw some shit. That's Al. And then he kind of turns his back and kind of points to a shell. That's my shell. We still don't know anything. Grant is younger. Davis is younger. Calisor has like burnt, bleeding marks under his eye. Davis steams now.
I'm pretty sure it's still my ears. Bullshit. Just
There's
between me and
a
you.
lot.
What in the hell happened while I was gone?
We made it to the maze. We killed the necromancer. She wasn't really a necromancer. She was more of an alien necromancer thing, and he just starts rambling.
I would not recommend going to the maze. It was a very bad time.
What happened to my friend Yarsi?
Oh,
He found you, right? I sent him after you guys.
Yes, but and I will go ahead and pull out the jar, place it on the floor.
And-
Okay, the jar.
this is him. He's a jar now. Don't ask questions. Just
He's now known as
Oh.
Jarcy.
No!
Alright, I'm changing it on.
Damn it!
oh god.
He's
You just
Jarcy.
broke me.
He is Jarcy.
Shit!
Alright.
It was there for so long, and we never saw it till just now.
I kind of just want to end it there because that's too good.
I can't.
That's a good ending spot.
That's good.
I can't be solemn and melancholy after that.
Alright, cool. There you go. It's even updated on your character sheet. Jarcy. Alright, boys. We went a little bit later. You guys, Discord has the Dregnar.
Yeah, that's
I
super dope. I
guess
showed it on stream too. It's nice.
Yeah. We will do a descriptor and everything in the day, but your buddy is back. So carved in. Well,
Because Grodnak bought
With pants on.
Glorious.